Okay, so this is match number 2 with Affinity in a competitive Modern League. We will be on the play, and this hand looks awesome, and I wish we had... Oh, actually, that's 1, 2, yeah, so I wish we had a 2-drop to play, but I think we keep this hand and hope to just resolve two Master Theorems in a row, and hopefully just roll with that to victory. Kind of hard to beat 2 7/7s on the battlefield, or I guess 8/8s, right? Because they get +6, then so 7/7s. Kind of hard to feel like it's hard to beat that, but I guess I could be wrong. Opponents deciding on mulligans. Okay, here we go. Spire of Industry, Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, Welding Jar, Mox Opal, 2-mana open. Inquisition takes Master Therium, Fatal Push. We probably Welding Jar the Fatal Push at this point. So Serum Visions, turn 1. Serum Visions it is. So we're likely playing against Storm or Grixis Theshile, but because they led on a Serum Visions, my guess is that it's probably Storm. Or excuse me, because they led on a Steam Vents, my guess is that it's probably Storm. We could also be playing against the new, not new, but re-realized. If I play this, I only have, yeah. So we could also be playing against the new Deceiver Exarch Pestermite Kiki-Jiki deck, which isn't really new, but but we could be playing against that, in which case we're in a pretty good spot, but no interaction on my end means they get to play their combo cards for free. So Spirebluff Canal narrows it down to Storm or the deck I was just talking about. My guess is that this Master Therium isn't going to resolve. I'm going to play this Memnite. So I'm thinking like Mana Leak here. Yeah, I'm not really ready to give this Master Therium up to a Mana Leak, so I'm just going to play this Signal Pest. I'm playing this pre-combat because every artifact that I play makes Master Therium that much bigger. And we're just going to crash in for 8. And see what they do. Put them at 10. Give them a 1-turn warning. Next turn without... So if they go Deceiver Exarch, or they try to storm... They can't storm off next turn. At least I don't think. Playing 2 Ops and a Serum Vision in this deck, I'm leaning towards the Deceiver Exarch, or towards the Kiki combo deck. But I guess we will see what goes on here. If they leave 3 mana up, I'm just going to assume Deceiver Exarch. So then I'm going to play Master Therium, tapping Master Therium. And I should... So that'll be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that'll be 9 damage total. I guess I don't tap the Master Therium. I just tap the Menmite or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'll make the right play when it comes, hopefully. So if they go land pass, I'm in a good spot here, but I know that it's Deceiver or Pestermite that's about to come down. And okay, so it's Storm, and they're going to try to combo off this turn. They could try to board wipe me at this point. So what? That's Storm count 3. Sure. So essentially, we don't give them 2 mana mana spells. So they probably get 2 rituals, a filter, and something else. Probably like another Gifts and Given or a Grape Shot. So if it's a Grape Shot, I probably give them... Probably put the Grape Shot in the graveyard, and I probably put the other the normal ritual in their hand, and the one that gives that you can make more rituals with in the graveyard. You know what I'm talking about, hopefully. Yeah, I'm not sure what they get here. With 2 red mana, 3 cards in hand. They don't have any blue left. So yeah, my guess is that they're going to get a Manamorphose and a Pyretic Ritual and a Desperate Ritual and something else. Depending on what that something else is, I'd probably just give them Pyretic Ritual and that something else, and let the Manamorphose go into the graveyard so that they can't make any more blue. Okay, so my opponent gives me the option of giving him Grape Shot, Past in Flames, Desperate Ritual, Manamorphose. So Storm count is 1, 2, 3, 4. He can make it 5 with Grape Shot. I have a Welding Jar in play. So let's assume he has a Desperate Ritual, a blue spell, and another blue spell in his hand. I don't want him to make blue mana, so I'm not going to give him Manamorphose. Past in Flames doesn't do anything here unless he has another ritual. Unless all 3 of his cards are rituals. Desperate Ritual gives him more mana, and Grape Shot lets him do it for a very little. So put 2 cards into the graveyard. I think I'm going to put the Manamorphose and the Desperate Ritual into his graveyard. I don't think the Grape Shot does enough here, and I don't think that he can cast the Past in Flames this turn, and I think I just win when I untap. So, okay. Maybe I give him... So he makes 3 mana, and he has another ritual. So he'll make 4 mana, right? And then if he has another... So if he has 3 rituals in hand, Past in Flames is a bad option to give him, because he'll go... No, that doesn't even make sense. So he has 2 now. He spends 2 on ritual, goes to 3. Spends 2, go to 1, make another ritual. Right? So So card number 1 is a ritual, goes to 4 mana. Spends 2, gets 3, goes to 5 mana. Spends 2, gets 3, goes up to 6 mana. So 6 mana. So if every 3 card in his hand is a ritual, then Past in Flames is the wrong option to give him. I think the odds of him having another, him having 3 rituals in hand is very low. So I think I'm going to give him Desperate Ritual and Past in Flames. I think that's what I'm going to give him. And put Manamorphose and Grape Shot in the graveyard. So I'm going to pick Manamorphose to go in the graveyard and Grape Shot to go in the graveyard. Okay. Either he has... Yes, you cast Desperate Ritual. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, just having him, making him have those 3 rituals, I think is the better play. He just played 3 rituals, which means his hand would have been, 6 rituals and what, a land, right? I don't think that was. I don't think the odds of that happening are very high. So we go to sideboard. Rule of Law definitely comes into this game. Stubborn Denial is an option that we can consider. I don't typically like cutting Master Theorems in this matchup. Mostly because Master Theorem is a really fast clock that they sometimes don't really have the resources to deal with. And it makes their turn 4, turn 3 comboing off to kill your creatures plan a little awkward. So I'm going to keep it. Normally, I would bring in Rest in Peace if I had it. Really good against them, even though it turned off my Arcbound Ravagers. It's just, one of those non-bows that you have to play to be able to win this matchup. I don't think I'm worried about any enchantments or artifacts that they play. I'm not really worried about them removing my creatures too often, so I don't need any of these. I could make an argument for Dispatch. It's kind of hard for them to combo off without having their mana, their mana. It's not accelerant. It's a mana reducer in play. I'm not worried about any artifacts. Aetherpur or Githerpur, Aetherpur, Gearpur Aether Grid is. If you think they're going to be going on the control plan, you can probably bring this in, but I don't think that Storm ever does that. So we're down to these cards. Etched Champion becomes in the maybe slot. Having card advantage over them is good, but not totally important in this matchup, just having a good hand. So I'm going to bring in both Stubborn Denials over that. We can swap out 1 Etched Champion and 1 Master Therium to go half-half in the race, and I don't think that we want Dispatch right now. We do definitely want Rule of Law and Spell Bomb, where I think we cut a pair of Steel Overseers that are just a little too slow for this matchup. And I think we go like this. Let's find out. This hand's pretty weak. We probably mulligan this hand. It has 2 3-drops and a 2-drop and only 1 land. We're on the draw, so we could draw into the land or a 0-drop creature to make my Signal Pest and Vault Scourge a little more impactful. But we don't see any sideboard cards, except maybe this Etched Champion is probably a sideboarded Etched Champion. But we don't really have a way to play him in this hand so far. And I don't think we can bank off the top of our deck against Storm. I think we have to be pretty precise about what we're doing. Otherwise, we're just going to give them a little bit of leeway to get an advantage over us. So I think I'm going to mulligan this hand. I'd probably keep it in most circumstances, though. This hand is not as good, but it has Vault Scourge and Cranial Plating, and I'm able to do that on turn 2. I think that's really powerful against a deck that is relying on most decks to do fetch shock or fetch. Gaining life makes that just a little harder for them to storm off. So I think I'm going to keep this hand, but I'm not entirely sure. Things like Lightning Bolt is something I need to worry about. That this hand does not protect. And I get to scry, and I'll probably throw this on the bottom, seeing as we don't need another land source, or we don't need another mana source, and I don't think that the Infect will be relevant in this game. Maybe if we draw another one, we can go into that plan, but I think we need to just find something better. So we're going to put this on the bottom. And we're going to let him play his land and Serum Visions, or slide a hand. Slide a hand. Look at the top 2, put one in your hand, put one in the bottom. Champion was kind of a bad draw, so we're definitely going to play Blinkbomb Nexus and Vault Scourge. And we'll probably play Mox Opal just to be safe here. Next turn we get to go Cranial Plating, Blinkbomb Nexus, Cranial Plating, Equip, because we'll have 3 artifacts. We'll get in with some damage and gain some life there. And hopefully that won't be too late. Turn 3 is kind of a very important turn for Storm. So we will see. Although now they have Remand up, so Cranial Plating Plan might not be as good here. Yeah, I think we're gonna see a Remand here. I'm gonna play the Blank Moth Nexus, and I'm gonna play a Cranial Plating, and they're gonna Remand, I think, or Mana Leak. Okay, so maybe they have a Lightning Bolt here, which I guess is fine. Not ideal, but it's fine. We'll go to Declare Attackers, get in for 4, go to 22. If it hits. All right. And then we let them play a dude and play some rituals. Or they play a dude and keep Remand up, which might be a little too late for them. A little late to stay in the game at least. Okay, so they're going to try to combo off now. They could just have a Grape Shot in hand, and they're just planning to play out their hand and deal 1 damage to Vault Scourge and deal the rest to me. Just keep Vault Scourge off the battlefield, and maybe they just have more than 1 Grape Shot in hand that they need to get rid of, or that they can comfortably get rid of. Either that was a misclick for my opponent, or they really don't have anything in hand. Probably bluffing a Bolt here, I would assume. Arcbound Avenger was a pretty good draw. I think we play Arcbound before we play its champion. I'm going to play the Spire. Yeah, I'm just going to run out this Arcbound Ravager. And then I'm going to play the Springleaf Drum. Yeah, it kind of looks like they didn't have the cards they wanted. I think if they try to Bolt Vault Scourge, I probably just sacrifice their artifacts to keep it alive. I'm not sure if that's totally the right play, but I do think it's probably worth trying. And I'm going to get in for 7, for 8 total. I think if they had a Lightning Bolt, they would have probably played it before the Arcbound Ravager resolves. So now those are 8. I'm at 29. I'm in a comfortable life. Still not out of... Excuse me. I'm in a comfortable life, but still totally not out of range from them. I think they can still combo off and hit me for... they can remand their Grape Shot on the stack and play it again just for exactly 30. That makes it so they only have to get their Storm up to 14 before they go to shoot me. I guess that does make it very difficult with 6 cards in hand. Probably some number of them are being just a blue spell. I'm guessing at least one is just a 1-mana blue spell that they may or may not have drawn. Maybe one is a land, and I think the rest are probably action cards. My guess is also they probably have some number of high converted mana cost cards in their hand, like Gifts and Given or Past in Flames, that make their hand really awkward. And I'm not going to F6 through this because I have Arcbound Ravager in play, and because he has cards that can get rid of artifacts, and I can sacrifice creatures to make Arcbound Ravager bigger. See, like a Grape Shot here. I'm not really sure if he might have another one. He may not. So putting all the counters onto one creature might be a bad idea. But we'll go ahead and let him decide where he wants to throw all his damage. Obviously, if he's throwing all of his damage to Arcbound Ravager, I probably just put the counters on Vault Scourge. But this doesn't answer the threat that I have on board, which is a Blink Moth Nexus. So if he removes both of my creatures, so it looks like he is pretty... So my guess is that he has another Grape Shot and he's going to kill the Vault Scourge after I put the counter on... after I put the counter on Vault Scourge, he's just going to ping it for 1 and then deal the rest to me. See, that doesn't answer the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage I have on board. If I draw a 0-drop artifact that isn't Mox Opal, I'm probably going to win this game. So I think I just let... I'm just going to sacrifice Arcborn Ravager to himself. Yes, and we're going to pick Vault Scourge as the target for Arcborn Ravager's ability. Hit OK. I guess I want to do this. Make him a 6/2. Deals 1 damage to Vault Scourge, and I will say OK. The rest of the Grape Shots are countered because there is no valid target for them. And at this point, I feel comfortable F6ing because I have no plays here. So if he plays another Grape Shot, gets rid of... okay. So this is where I just win, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to animate this. Hold on. So we're going to tap this one for mana. And we're going to animate this one. And then we're just going to go in for attacks. We have black open in case he does anything weird. But yeah, he just concedes. So that was a game 2. So let's move on to round 3.